starting the stream a little early today. Because I'm going to play some WoW before Ben gets here. Ben's not even here yet. He might be hearing this and thinking, my goodness, why is the show starting? I'm terribly late. Well, he isn't. But I'm going to just mess around in WoW, and I was all set up to stream, so I figured I might as well. So if you're hanging out in the chat room early, you can watch me do whatever I decide to do here in WoW. Oh my gosh, my inventory's full of pets. Had a not-so-successful run at the auction house. So we'll just do this till Ben shows up. Then hopefully Ben doesn't want to tell me any secrets or anything, because you'll all hear it. Maybe. I could probably cut the audio, actually. But does he really want to take that risk? Hi, Alessander. You have some questions about the Withered training. Shoot, I will happily talk about Withered training.
Need something? Safe travel.
For those of you who don't know, I put up a video on our YouTube page. It's also on our Patreon page. And at least for the time being, it's on the stream, talking about Withered combat training, how I go through it, whatnot. But let's see what Alessander has for the questions. Alright, so the question was, is there a storyline reason to train a Withered army for later use, or is the chest the point of it? And how do you always know how many Withered you had? Okay, so the storyline reason is that we're trying to get those Withered, for one thing, we don't want them to just kind of be these worthless zombie creatures anymore. We want them to be productive members of society. But the quasi-nefarious other reason for it is because we want to lead said army against the forces of Suramar, so they need to be combat ready. The chests are the point of the mini game that is Withered combat training, but there's not really a storyline reason necessarily for the chests. That more goes for the game, but it's all a part of making your Withered army stronger. And as far as how I knew how many Withered I had, there's actually a buff that appears at the upper corner that will give you a counter for how many Withered you currently have. Spaz, this is going to be an episode. Right now, this is just early stuff. We don't start for another 15 minutes, technically. Ben will probably call in about 5, so this is just me kind of killing time. Oh, hey! The Valor Jar is the daily. I feel like that never comes up. I mean, if I look at my rep, it kind of speaks to that, too. My Warden's rep has actually almost passed it. So I'm excited about that. I'll happily go over there. I like it over there.
Can I assist you? The next one.
I also have to kind of keep an eye on some other things going on here. There have been some invitations for guests for tonight, and I have not heard back 100% on any of them. So I don't know who's going to be on tonight. So we'll see if I hear back on that. I wonder if I can activate this while I'm flying. Nope. Alright, fair enough. Worth a try. I like this mount, but I mostly like what this mount represents, which was a year-long effort and free increased flight speed. Uh-oh. This guy's following me. He's also a rogue. Can't be trusted. Alright, what do we gotta do? Tiptog the Lost Slain. Alright. Let's go kill Tiptog.
Our whelplings hunger for the flesh of animals, but the young ones cannot stomach it raw.
Oh, we'll do this one on the way. Come here. Come here, wolves. I need you as well, wolf. I wonder if they fixed this. This daily quest has a little bit of a bug to it that I kind of like. Show you that in just a minute. Let me just kill all these wolves here. Yep, they fixed it. So, you used to be able to spam this. And by spamming it, you could summon whelplings over and over and over again. And you would finish this quest in, like, seconds. Weird. I'm surprised they changed that. Surprised that was something they decided they didn't want in the game. We're on a pretty fast little respawn timer here. I guess you can still select each one individually. That's alright. That's something. It was more fun when you could just kind of spam it, though. Don't mind me, wolves. I'm just skinning your siblings here. Yep. Strong whelps. Handle it. Alright, let's go kill this guy. Oh, there's another wolf chasing me. So many wolves. Alright. Where are you, dude?
The wardens are now few in number, yet justice must not rest, friend. Aid us in dispatching this foul creature. People of this land, the wardens remain ever vigilant.
So much to do, so chat room's kind of currently discussing alts and why people aren't wanting to play alts. And I don't think they're wrong. There is a lot to do. That's certainly what has held me back to some degree. But Scott, for example, he, just got 110 on his Demon Hunter and has been tanking dungeons and all of that, and that's a total alt turn for him. So I think it's motivation. I think if you have a main and you want to try and do everything on your main, that's going to be a big time investment. And I don't think that's a problem. I think that's actually a good thing. Now, if you're sitting there saying, like, there's too much to do and I don't have time to play my alts, then I think what you need to do is not be mad at the game. I think you need to reevaluate what all you're doing on your main and maybe focus on alts if they're that important to you. WoW has always been a case of you need to find the balance. You need to find the time. And, if I PvP'd, activities would be way, tighter. But I don't. So that's not a priority to me. So I don't have to worry about it. So, I don't know. That's my weird take on it. It's probably not a very popular opinion, but my theory is this: if it's important, you'll make time for it. See, I was gonna jump off this cliff, but I knew not to do it because I knew Ben was gonna call and get me killed.
Hello!
Hi, Ben.
How's it going, John?
Good. I'm streaming, in case you didn't notice, but I want to tell you right away so you didn't do your usual, incredibly racist rant or anything right out of the gate.
No, you're thinking of someone else.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, it's not me.
Okay.
He's streaming.
Okay.
Just letting you know. How's it going, John?
Good. I'm about to jump off a cliff and see how that goes for me.
Oh, that's good. Good luck.
Yep. Here we are. We're gonna do it.
It's cliff time.
Cliff time. Whee! Oh, no, that's not good at all.
Well, why'd you do it?
I don't know. The stream's gonna see something real dumb.
Are you on the art stream?
Yeah. I don't even know what happened exactly. I wish I could tell you. I don't know how that worked or how it worked out. What am I supposed to do? Call a Valkyr down? Alright. Yep, there she is. What'd she do? Oh, that's got a minute-long cooldown. I probably shouldn't have used that.
Well, if it's what you needed to do, then you did it right.
Alright. Here we are. Shooting cannonballs and stuff.
Well, that's good. Doing the things.
Yeah.
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 Yeah?
So how's your day, Ben?
Uh...
Alright, in other news... How's
your day, John?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, great.
I don't know. I can't talk about it probably.
Oh, okay. Well, then let me give you some info of mine then, without getting into big details.
Okay.
So I had an issue with one of my applications at work, which I kind of told you a little bit about. And it took 7 IT people and 2 days to fix.
Wow.
Yeah, it was not enjoyable.
No.
So because of that, I'm going to be probably working a little bit over the weekend.
Everybody's working for the weekend.
Yeah. Or for BlizzCon, really.
Everybody. Everybody's doing it.
So you just jumped off a cliff. Is that because everybody's doing it?
Yep, everybody's doing it. Everybody's jumping off the cliff.
Oh. I'm adjusting myself.
I think we're all waiting for a captain. Oh, smoke's up.
I'm guessing World Quest?
Yeah.
Which World Quest? The one where you're waiting for a captain?
Yeah, the one where everybody waits for a captain. Go get him.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yep, there's a lot of dead people, and a lot of people got credit for killing him. Go,
Oh, well,
Cat.
that's good. Did you get credit? Or did you not kill him yet? Okay.
I got credit. I got credit. I got credit.
You got credit.
I got credit. If it's not credit, it's crap. I don't know. Don't ask me why I said that.
Oh, crap. Crap on a stick.
I'd rather not.
Yeah, it's probably best that you don't.
If I had my ways, probably go
Yeah.
with no.
Oh, you started streaming like 7 minutes before we usually get on together.
Yep.
Ah.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yes, fancy. These quests disappeared, I swear. I don't know if I'm like right at the edge of the time where the times switch over for some of the quests or not, but there was one. Saw it earlier. Ooh, somebody's sending me secret messages. Hold on.
Ooh. Who is it?
It's the Beau.
Oh, so is he coming?
That's what I'm asking
Or-
right now.
Oh. Ah.
Oh, this guy's for the turn-in when I'm done, and I'm not done.
No. Freaking A.
Alright. Yeah, we got Beau. He needs a few minutes, so
No, that's fine. I figure we can just keep, talking.
yeah, just keep rapping.
Yeah. The rapping. Oh, maybe that'll have it.
Okay, yeah, people are confirming the world quest just spilled over, so that's why world quests that I was just looking at are now gone.
Oh. Yeah, that's like around 8 o'clock our time.
Great.
Crap. John, I'm trying to find an email and I can't find it.
Emails, huh?
Yeah. Because I did a complete history dump on my PC here. I'm trying to find a thing to get the website so that we can actually host on Alpha Geek, because I do not remember the website to log in for that and what the password and all that stuff is. So awesome. Go me.
You did it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump off another cliff.
Are you gonna die again?
I didn't die the first time.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, I might die this time. That was really close.
Oh wait, I think I found the stuff. Hopefully it's still right. Oops.
What am I doing down here? I'm collecting stolen artifacts. Alright.
Belongs in a museum.
Are they on the ship?
Hey, I got it,
Do I
John.
have to kill people for it? What do I gotta do?
Are they the vampires? If it's the vampires, you have to just kill the vampires.
Oh, alright. I can kill
If you're in that
vampires.
area.
Yep. So I gotta kill 10 vampires.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
I don't know why I said it that way. Vampires.
Vampires.
When I talk about vampires, I get an accent.
Yes, vampires.
Blue, it's the vampires.
Blah, blah, blah.
The vampires have arrived. They will attack us at dawn.
Oh, that's no fun.
The vampires.
Yes. Close that. You can close
We'll go to the
that.
shore. There's more vampires on the shore. Hey! Stop stealing all my gosh darn vampires, man! What are you doing? There. Stole all of them back. What do you think of that?
Well, you know what you should have done is just tagged him and then ran away.
I did tag him, but he was
Oh.
running away.
Oh, well then let him run away with them all.
Haha! Vampires! Oh. Sweet. Give me artifact power. Ben, you're probably not going to want to ever look at a point in this stream where I've got my inventory open.
Why?
It is full of pets in cages.
Oh. Oh, you know what? That's I don't know if we'll get to it today or not, but I wanted to talk about my pulsating sack.
We will definitely not talk about that.
What's wrong with my pulsating sack?
Everything about what
In
you're
like
saying.
5 days, it's gonna be a roaring sack.
Ew, man. I don't. Nope. Ugh.
Well, then maybe we'll talk about the whole idea of how you get it, and because okay, at some point,
How I get your pulsating sack.
Yeah, I'll make one for you.
I'm good, man.
Actually, I don't know if they're soulbound. I need to check my screenshot, but yeah, I can make you a pulsating sack.
I've had enough of those in high school. Thank you, though.
What happened to you in high school?
A lot of unfulfilled promises.
Yeah. Oh no, the pulsating sack is it's soulbound. Darn.
Yeah, it is.
Okay then.
Alright. Gotta dodge through all these trees and things because my stupid whistle's on cooldown. I'm just too good at killing pirates.
You mean I could dodge bullets?
I mean, in time, you won't have to.
You mean I can dodge trees?
You mean they're gonna become insanely inaccurate and I can just stand still? What are you saying? What are you saying, Morpheus?
No.
No, I'm... Aw.
Oh yeah, Radar 3D knows what I'm talking about because he's got meat pants just like I do.
Yuck. Nothing that you're saying out loud is good.
John, I'm just gonna drop this right here and say alchemy is weird this expansion.
I guess.
Wicked Kitten, you should not leave if you want to hear about pulsating sacks and meat pants. And if you don't want to hear about them, we'll move on.
Alright, here comes moment of truth. Is today live on stream the day I get a legendary? Is it?
No?
Yeah, it's totally not.
Because I already got one, right?
And hey, guess what? Those loot caches continue to be great big disappointments. They're just not as big a disappointments.
Like, I'd actually be really happy if you even got just more artifact power in them as well. Well, is that a purple something?
It's a purple disappointment is what it is.
Oh, that's too bad. I hear that's what they call Barney now, the purple disappointment.
It's purple disappointment.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's true. It's just true.
Yeah.
He's just...
Hey, by the way, that's a really snazzy Murloc with the microphone you got there, all nice and cut out of his block.
What?
Good job on that.
Where? Oh.
You can't see it, John. It's on the stream.
Where? My character's spinning around. Oh,
Where is it?
oh no. Well, now I'm sad. My legendary chances are gone.
For today.
They're at 0 for the day.
Oh, hey, were you online in Raid when I got my legendary, or my hidden appearance for my artifact?
I was, but it's not the one you use, right?
No, not at all. So I'm in the same boat as you.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Here.
How great is that club?
I'll switch to the spec. You all can see my stupid hidden appearance for the spec I'm not.
Mine looks kind of cool, though.
Oh, I can't because Ben's picture's in the way. Hold on. There we go. What am I doing?
I don't know.
I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Ah, it's not even
Oh
the
my
right
god,
thing.
it's your inventory.
So much stuff. Too much stuff. What am I doing? Specialization. That's what I want to do. Switch to assassination.
Assassination.
I think Beau's here. There we go.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't have to call him. I don't know. Is he under Gorath or Beau?
I think he's under Beau Schwartz.
Yeah, I think you might have to call him because I don't see him on my friends list.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I think you've called him each time.
What? What? I'll do that then.
Whoa. Are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. All of a sudden, you your AC that I heard in the background went away, and then also you went.
It's me.
Yeah. Well, he didn't pick up, so how about I hang up and then you just call us all back?
He hasn't picked up yet.
Oh, that's weird. Then his picture went away, and then all of a sudden the sound of your AC came back on. Now he's here.
Greetings.
There he is.
Hey, how's it going?
Good evening, sirs.
Well,
There,
hello,
now I'm gonna add you
Mr.
to
Beau.
contacts.
Why, hello there.
How's it going?
Good. Well, better now that I'm hanging out with you guys.
Aw.
I'm tired, and so I thought I'd relax and play some Heroes since I didn't touch it all week, and it made me very unhappy.
Oh,
Oh no, what happened?
well, sometimes Heroes is like that.
Well, you pick TLV, and then everyone lanes with you.
Oh
You ask
my gosh.
politely to not do that. This is Hero League. This is, nope, nobody knows what they're doing. So I got a little. I didn't take it out on anybody, but I got a little.
You got a little
"Man,"
mithy?
I was like, I'm not in a good place, so I'm gonna stop. And then I remembered. John asked, "Hey, do you want to be on Azeroth Roundtable?" And I was like, "Yes, let's talk about Warcraft."
Let's talk
Cool, we
about a
can do
game where
that.
people don't play Vikings poorly.
Oh, I've been playing Allied Commanders all week, and except for one guy who just verbally abused me from the first second,
Oh.
all of the matches have been very pleasant.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, I mean,
Oh.
I would think that they're used to that hanging out with John so much.
No, John's an angel. He doesn't say like terrible words in
Well,
chat.
To you.
Sometimes Beau hears what I say, but they don't ever get typed.
Yeah. Well, that's different. It's when it's again the online gaming space. Sometimes,
Yeah. Okay, good point.
sometimes someone, a 10-year-old or a 40-year-old inner 10-year-old decides to come out, and I don't play games to be abused.
Yeah.
Wow, what am I saying? Sam Ranty. It's gonna be a great show. I'm
Okay.
gonna be.
Look,
all
we'll
over
just
the
have you do we'll do the intro and then just let you go.
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
whatever you want to talk
because
about.
we always talk about Warcraft when I'm on. Is it a Blizzard general show mainly focused on Warcraft, or
It is a show that is focused on Warcraft and generally talks about Warcraft.
But
okay, cool. So I'm
occasionally
wondering if
other
the
things
trap
will
door
come
will
up.
open up if I go on a Heroes of the Storm tirade. Not that I will,
Well,
but
and the thing is if we're having a good conversation, whatever.
all right, whatever,
Yeah,
man.
we might be a little pent up. We didn't get core this week.
Yeah, there's that too.
So I should just mute and sit back.
Just mute both of us, and just do the show solo, and
Oh,
then
no,
just,
I
is
wouldn't do
that
that.
right, John? And unmute him for 2 seconds, and he's like, blah, 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 mute him back again. And like, oh, interesting points, John. Very good.
People are like, strangely, this is the best episode they've ever done. And John was oddly on point with his. "Brah."
That's all I need is just a brrr every now and
So,
then.
do we have a discussion topic? Sorry, I'm so.
No.
Yeah, I remember now. You guys, there's a document.
There's
somewhere.
zero prep for this show. It's so
Zero.
easy, Beau. It's so
No
easy.
agenda.
Yeah.
I got
No
you.
agenda at all.
All right.
I mean, I brought up a possible thing to talk about, but John's kind of against it.
Wait, I am?
Are you
Well-
looking for a way to step in between the friendship?
Well, no. It's just I suggested talking about my pulsating sack.
Nope.
Oh. Well,
Yep,
I'm-
turns out, yeah, I am totally against it. I forgot.
Okay.
I saw that tweet actually. Mick was also against it. I was like, oh, that's a cool tweet. So
Yeah,
you know where I stand.
I really thought that automatically. It's like, oh, because the actual crafting recipe is meat to pets, and you transmute meat into a pet.
Pet
so
or
apparently,
pants?
pet
Oh,
like
so you make a meat
man
pet.
Yeah, and
Oh.
it apparently pops out of a pulsating sack after 7 days. I'm really excited to see what I get.
That's how pregnancy works, right? Except it's more like 9 months.
Yeah, it takes a little bit longer to cook. That's what it is.
I am feeling better. I will also be liberally using my mute button if I've got cold-related sounds to make without getting my pulsating sack in my nose.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Everybody's pulsating tonight. Y'all stop it.
Stop pulsating.
Stop
To the
pulsating.
end. All right, one second. Buttons.
Oh.
All right. Yeah.
I
So-
need to log into the chat room for
That works. It
this
helps.
screen.
Oh, you know what? We're past 8. I could probably start Alpha Geek.
Probably could.
Probably be a good idea.
We're no longer
Don't you think?
showing my adventures of doing World Quest content and not getting anything.
Vampires.
The vampires. Nuclear vampires.
Nuclear vessels. Piloted by vampires.
What's our... Yep, there we go. Twitch.
Yep.
Right? Twitch. Yep,
Yeah.
Twitch.
Yeah. Twitch.tv/AzerothRT.
that's us.
Yeah.
Very tweet.
Oh.
I will tweet for people to come join.
There's an
I'm gonna pop one up.
Oh, you know what? This is bad, guys. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to hear this. Hold on. There. The chat room can't hear you right now. They can hear me. I'm muting the advertisement that we're not getting any money to advertise at the moment for. That I can't mute because I'm... it's... I don't know. None of your business. I think it was Intel or something.
Oh yeah, no, we don't get any of that sweet Intel money.
No, we don't. So I'm muting it so they don't have to hear it.
Yeah.
That's
right.
Now that's done. Okay, and close this ad because it's all about ads right now.
Yeah.
Because
There you go,
I'm
Beau. I
not
got you
logged
your
in on my account.
Well, yeah. Could be.
Tom Chilton's new game, Nuclear Vessels, piloted by vampires.
I'd play that.
I would play that. I
Yeah.
would completely play that.
Totally.
All right. Well, hey guys, we should probably do a show.
Hey.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a really good Ryan Gosling impression. Oh no, it's Hey Girl, not Hey Guys. Well, whatever.
Great.
Hey
Okay.
Girl.
Hey girl.
Hey,
Well, then-
Hey Girl.
Let's see. Let me get us so that we're actually recording the show.
Wake me up
Before you show. Everyone's waiting for it to go. That didn't work as
10
well.
out of 10. Best show we've ever done.
Yeah. Beau, are you ready to kick us off?
Oh yeah, I got to do intro thing, right?
Yeah, but it's no pressure or anything.
Yeah. I mean, John treats you better than he does Jocelyn when she tries to do it, so you're probably okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. I do nothing but encourage Jocelyn to do the intro because I think she does a good job.
Yeah. Oof, creativity, real low. All right.
You don't have to be creative. You just be like, "Hey, it's
I know I've
here's
all
the
these
show."
expectations now, and I'm like, you gotta do an amazing introduction.
Bo's like, I'm not doing it if I'm not doing it well. Dang it.
Well, you know what? I admire that actually.
It's worth doing. It's worth doing right.
It's the first thing they hear. They don't want to hear me go, I think I'm on Azeroth Roundtable. Although you guys would probably dig it anyways, right? You guys are pretty...
Oh, totally.
Let's say 5. All right. So just start whenever?
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
anytime.
I mean,
That's how we
some-
know to go. Otherwise, we're just going to do the pre-show for forever.
Yeah, and some people give a countdown, some don't. I mean, it's really up to you what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You can just jump right in.
All right. Let's get going then. All right.
There's a request for you to do it in the style of a question.
Well, who is Azeroth Roundtable? Is that all I say?
Who or whom, depending on if you want to give points to your opponent or not.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, that
jeez.
really threw me for a loop. It's clever. You got tick marks on your Rejoinder of the Storm. All right, let's get going. Hey, wait. I introduced who I am first, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, if you want, or you can just say, "Hey, this is
This
Azeroth
is
Roundtable."
like
Let it be a
Jocelyn,
mystery.
but without any help. This is
Okay.
like this is like if we were muted and Jocelyn was doing the introduction.
My brain is like a couple of podcasters talking. Sometimes it's hard to clear the air. All right. My name is Beau Schwartz, sometimes known on Azeroth as Gorath. And from deep within the heart of the Broken Isles, in the depths and tombs of Azuna, there are 3 demons who congregate weekly to discuss all things demonic and to share how much they hate about Illidan. That show is called Azeroth Roundtable. Table. I'm Gorath. I am your guest demon, and joining me are the actual hosts of the show, Demon Ben Bumhofer and Succubus John Jagger.
Usually this
Welcome
is where
to
I
your
have to
show.
go. Wow.
All right.
Wow, you weren't kidding about that creativity there. Holy crap.
I just wanted to get my lore things right. I knew if I said a wrong location, someone would be like, "Yeah, the intro was really great, but you said information wrong, and so you're discredited."
That Beau guy was great, except it's not the Broken Isles, it's the Broken... No, I don't know. Whatever. Welcome to Azeroth Roundtable, episode 186. My name is Ben Bumhofer, and with me, as always, is John Jagger. How's it going, John?
It's going great, Ben. I'm happy to be here. I don't know if you noticed, but Beau kind of started to take over hosting duties, which is funny because he started playing a tank. And that just goes right along with our theory that if you put a tank on this show, they will steal the show right out from under you if you leave them to their own devices.
Pretty much.
So, congratulations, Beau. You're officially a tank. You've made it. You are now committing tank actions. Travesties.
Well, thank you. I definitely get into alpha mindset sometimes. If you don't ask and leave me, I'll just DPS. But if you're like, Beau, we want you to tank, or we want you to make a decision, I take it too far, and now it's my responsibility to make all of the decisions.
You ride that decision to hell.
Like when we're raiding, and every 2 seconds I'm like, hey Tets, you want me to tank? Hey Tets, can I jump in and tank? He's like, no, we don't need to tank. You can DPS. And I'm like, okay, but inside I'm like, I really should be tanking. Whatever, it's all fun.
Yeah. Everybody has those roles that they just really want to do. We've got 87 people who want to tank, 2 people who want to heal, and then another 150 who want to DPS.
That was how I first approached Warcraft, was to play a priest, and so it was like, oh, everyone wants a healer, I'll get into everything. But then you got to play a priest. Sorry.
Wow.
And it seemed like the least worst of all the healing things. And I even took Monk for Legion just because it has Mistweaver in case we needed some heals. But I did the artifact quest where you have to heal, I think, or to get the the spray of harmony, or what's the item called? And I don't even know what it is. That's how little I've looked at it after that.
Wow.
But I appreciate healers, but it's a high calling, and few are good enough for the task.
Well, I know I'm definitely not good enough, but I took the calling anyway, so.
Always flatter your tanks. Always upvote them at the end of your Overwatch and Heroes matches.
Yeah, that exactly. Tanks and healers, they never get the love from the play of the games or anything like that. So totally upvote them. I'm with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
I do that. I upvote the healer. It seems like the right thing to do.
Yeah, it's like, you kept me alive unless you were a total jerk. Yeah. So anyways, it's a new week in WoW, guys. And holy crap, has stuff been happening.
Yeah, a lot of stuff has happened. Not only that, a lot of stuff has happened, but a lot of stuff is about to happen.
Yeah, John, I was super busy at work today, really busy. I didn't get a chance to really see too much, except I saw something about there's a date for 7.1.
There's a date. That date may surprise you. Do you know it, Ben? Are you?
I really don't.
With me? Okay.
I'm assuming it's right after BlizzCon, right?
Okay, this is gonna be great because we're gonna get Ben's genuine reaction to the date, which I have a lot of thoughts about people's reaction to the date, so I'm curious. Ben, what if I told you that patch 7.1 is launching on October 24th?
Seriously?
Yeah, October 24th.
Well, first I call you a stinking liar because that's a Monday. But holy crap.
It might be the 25th.
It is totally the 24th, right? 25th. I don't know. It's one of those
okay.
two.
Well, now I
25th,
believe you.
25th.
25th.
Oh, holy crap. Are you serious? That's so cool.
I think I meant to say the week of.
Okay, that works then.
Or maybe I just genuinely thought it was the 24th. I don't know. It's been a long week.
Wow.
What, Ben? What if I told you it was the 25th?
Whoa, my mind is blown, John. That is a surprise. Seriously though, it's the 25th?
Yep, the 25th, not the 24th. Don't let anybody else fool you.
Wow. Okay, cool. So that means I get to start playing Karazhan on the 25th. I'm actually really happy about that. Is there new raiding content coming in with this patch?
Yes, 2 weeks after it launches.
Oh, okay. So we still have some time, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. And
So we have
that raid is only going to be, I believe, I'm going to get everything wrong, but I believe it's a 3-boss raid. It's
Okay.
small. It's not big.
Okay. Well, John, let me just throw this out here. Is this the show to come to for accurate news?
No.
No. So we're going to get everything wrong. Deal with it. Considering that, okay, this is the first week that I actually was in raid and got to see the first boss. I'm kind of excited because, we're friends and family group. We're slowly kind of making our way through it and stuff. And we had so many people in on Wednesday that some of the bosses were way more challenging than it should have been. I'm actually really excited for new content coming so fast after release. This is actually mind blowing. We're not going to get to it right away. Well, except for Karazhan, because
Is there
I'm going in.
aside from the raid content, do we know, is there any expanding stuff happening to the world quest or other end game aspects?
I believe that there's going to be expanded world quests, so there's going to be more variety to them.
Okay.
I think they are doing maybe a little bit more to further Suramar as a story. Can't
Yeah,
say 100% sure on that, but I vaguely
I
remember
thought they
reading
were. I heard something. It was a while ago that they were actually doing more story stuff once the next patch hits.
that. So, yeah, it's going to be a nice little mishmash of things. It looks like it's going to cover a lot of bases. And if you're into certain things, I know there's going to be some PvP content in there. And so should cover a lot of stuff. And so, I think that kind of brings me to the thing that I was surprised to see, quite frankly, which was a lot of people saying this is way too soon. And I couldn't disagree with them more. And I kind of wanted to ask everybody saying that, did you play Warlords of Draenor? Because I did. And you're not going to ever hear
And
me
you
say there's too
stopped.
much content again. 'Cause
Yeah.
I prefer one way more than the other.
Well, Beau, okay, so when the expansion hit, when you got in and started playing and everything, you really made a good beeline to being raid ready and being able to tank and DPS and everything. So you did a lot of work in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, you weren't on that long ago, and you were already saying that you were kind of hitting the end of the content for you. So is the 25th too soon, too late? What are your thoughts on this? Because obviously you've done so much already of the expansion.
Well, I think, yeah, this is a tough thing for me personally. Just everyone has different preferences, and for me, the most enjoyable part is the leveling experience and the zone questing experience. That's where the most narrative happens and the most world exploration, where you get sidetracked into hitting treasure chests and climbing to the top of high mountain just because now I'm at a point when I log in, it's like I have a laundry list of things I want to do, right?
Okay.
So the mythic stuff I can only do when we've coordinated time to do it together. Haven't really tried Group Finder that much. And otherwise it's world quests, which we're really incentivizing to do because of the upgrades. As you said, gearing up takes some time. And I got a legendary through all that, so that helps bump my eye level.
Oh, I
somewhat.
definitely haven't heard about that. Thanks, John.
No.
Legendary, huh?
We should talk about that legendary later, by the way, because it's crappy. It seems confirmed that it's crappy. So it's actually worse RNG because okay, I'm going to segue into it real quickly. But if you if you're lucky enough to get a legendary, but then unlucky enough to have it be not a good legendary, it feels bad. And I think that's what might have happened to me. So I'm putting it out there now that people can start making fun of me now for my legendary because it's not
Didn't they use
aside from eye
yours
level, it does
as an
nothing.
example for a bad
Yes,
legendary in the
I
stream?
didn't watch.
Oh my
I didn't
gosh.
watch the Q&A, but in the notes on MMO Champion that I reviewed while I was at work, taking a little break from work, the example was used that Cinedaria, the symbiote. What does it say here? Like it doesn't feel cool. Like it's just crappy. So it needs to be given something to make it better, especially if you're a demon hunter or a monk that gets it. So it's actually like. It was the one used as an example. Anyways, I'm going to stop crying about it, but I just thought, I'd throw that out there that I'm not that lucky. All right.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of the content, though, like I'm at a point now where I've geared up sufficiently that the gear increases are feeling incremental, and it's not enough for me to log in and spend 6 to 8 hours doing stuff in the hopes of like a 5 to 10 eye level upgrade on one item. It's really not a motivator for me. So with patch content, at the very least, in the raid content, you might get some new story and some new quests, and that's nice. But if I'm not ready to go into a mythic, or if we're not raiding, there's really nothing for me to do unless I want to work on an alt. And I'm not an alt character. There's that little sense of RP where it's like my character is right now my character. That's the one I play. I may dabble, but mostly I like to focus in and be. I'm now a Tauren in the World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
that's who I am. So if I'm some other person, it's just not as fun for me. So it can't come fast enough. This is great. This is what Warlords wasn't, which I played a lot, even though I was feeling not good about it. That's why I'm sort of taking a lesson here and slowing down, because I spent a lot of time waiting and was ultimately disappointed. And when that patch finally hit, I didn't even play it. So this is good, and I hope this pace keeps up for a little while at least.
So, okay, in the chat room, people are kind of going back and forth about some of this stuff, and something struck me that I thought was really weird, which I don't remember who said it, so sorry, I can't quote you perfectly, but they said that, oh yeah, well, the content came really fast in Warlords. No, it didn't.
No, it didn't. You're thinking of Pandaria.
Yeah, the first patch we got was the camera, then the second patch was the only patch we got. So
Yep.
It didn't come fast.
The camera.
The camera patch, everybody.
Wasn't there a jukebox one too, where the music thing happened? Was that the same patch too?
That was a different patch. The jukebox came in the second patch.
There was some because they released patches. I think because raid wings were opening up weekly, and then patches were dropping, and it was kind of like, we have a new raid, but you didn't. It was there at launch. You just time gated it, so I didn't like it. I like that everything's open so soon for everyone to do, for example. Not that I need to do it that fast, but the option's there if you can get your group we didn't start raiding, I think, the day it opened. But when we're ready to go start doing this stuff, it's there for us to do.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I mean, I have mixed feelings about it. Like, seeing the chat right now, I definitely have a strong opinion about how I feel on the, time between the expansion hitting and this first bit of content. But that said, I'm not going to fault anybody that wants to play Blizzard Skeptic. We've been burned basically every expansion before, so kind of going in with a somewhat negative attitude, I can at least understand it. But my thought is this, they have acknowledged that for the past several expansions, they've been trying to do an expansion a year and then failing to meet that goal.
Yeah.
And if you look at what content we got, excluding Warlords, which is kind of a weird outlier, we got really steady, decent bits of content for that first year, and then that second year was basically like, oh no, there's nothing. So maybe
they forgot the end of the expansion was coming.
Yeah, so maybe with them going in with the attitude of, we're gonna give ourselves the full amount of time, we're not gonna commit to this, maybe that will allow them to pace it better. Maybe instead it's just going to make it a 3-year cycle. I don't know, and that's why I understand the skepticism, but I am a bigger fan of having the game have more content sooner than burning out on the old content. And when this patch comes out, I'm going to have the option to run Karazhan. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. but it's there. It's something that I could be doing. And it's like that with a lot of content. And if patch, 7.2 or whatever it is, comes out and doesn't have a lot of things that I initially care about, that's fine too. Maybe I'll fall into whatever they do. Maybe they double down. They're like, this is the archaeology patch. And I think, well, that sounds awful.
What, you wouldn't dig that?
Oh. I saw what you unearthed there.
Oh. And John, shut up.
John, I think John hung up, actually. He's gone.
I'm leaving. Not.
Oh, look at his face on the stream.
Can't-
Oh, man.
He took a survey of our reactions and decided, nope.
Sorry, John.
This is getting awful. This is getting awful. But I mean, my point is this: is that it feels like this isn't. You guys need to be done with the content because we've got new content. That doesn't feel like what this patch is. This feels like supplementary content. And yeah, it does have a raid, so I could see why people are like, oh, we got to finish the raid before we do the raid. But it wouldn't surprise me if this new raid becomes something where it's like, all right, guys, we've gotten through the 2 or 3 bosses that we have on farm. We're kind of low on time. Maybe we can go into the other raid and do something there. I don't know that that's what it's going to be, so don't quote me on it. But I can see that being the world that we're playing in when we get there.
Wasn't that kind of a little bit how Terrace of Endless Spring was? They had, the Mogashan Vaults and then Heart of Fear, and then Terrace of Endless Spring just kind of showed up, and it's like, oh, there's, just 5 quick bosses in there. Yeah. Oh, quick if you're, good.
And I liked that one way better, too. That was my favorite raid.
Yeah, and I mean, so here's the thing: you have 3 sides of this whole thing. You have, oh my gosh, it's too soon, or it's not fast enough, and then how I think kind of all of us are sitting where it's just like, okay, cool, more stuff, that's great. I'm in no rush to do it because here's the thing: the last expansion really made me realize that okay, I don't need to just rush and do everything as fast as I humanly possibly can because there's going to be time. They learned their lesson from Warlords of Draenor. So, and they've even said, well, they've said that they've learned their lesson. So we really hope. But I mean, a big thing about it is that they realize that you can't have long content droughts. And, I hate to say this, but numbers really speak a lot. So, if they're not getting as much money coming in for people who are subscribed because there's a year and a half of no content, they're going to learn from that. So this is a way to kind of keep people around. I mean, it's just a little bit over a month since the expansion actually came out. So this is going to hopefully keep people in or bring more people back in or, whatever. But on top of that, if they've learned their lesson, that means that this is just the start of a long cycle of content that's coming out. So I don't get why anybody's upset that it's too soon. Just because we're getting a patch right now doesn't mean that in 6 months they're out of content.
Yeah.
We don't know what their whole cycle is. I mean, John, back in Pandaria, you and I were talking about how holy crap, we're getting patches all the time, and it was great for that first year and a half. Then they had their long drought. Then they did the exact opposite in Draenor.
They started with the drought.
Yeah, and then ended with the drought.
And maintained it for 2 years.
Yeah, so, I mean, it to me, I mean, maybe it's just because I'm more of an optimistic person. I'm not going into this thinking, well, this is the only content patch that we're going to get. That's it. But then again, there are people who've only played Warlords of Draenor. So maybe they're just thinking, here's our patch.
Why didn't this patch have a camera? I like all my patches to have cameras.
Why aren't there more
Instagram
filters?
Functionality? It needs Instagram functionality.
Yeah, we got Twitter. We need to throw Facebook because we got the streaming on Facebook now too. So time to add that, I guess. I will not link mine.
No, I really think that this is okay, so, they're proving themselves this go around over what happened with the last expansion with Warlords.
Yeah.
So this is a good first step. I remain optimistic that there's going to be stuff I'm going to be excited to log in to do. And in the big and in the big and long of things. Is that what
Sure.
you sure?
In the big and
All right,
long.
Just say it's Canadian. We'll go with you.
in the big and long of things, in the tall and dark of things, I'd rather have frequent contents when I'm excited to play the game, and would accept a drought in the latter half when I, can step away from the game for a while and then build up hype for the next one. Ideally, they keep it throughout, but if I had to choose between ones, definitely the way Warlords worked wasn't great. And like I said, like some people, everyone has busy schedules. Some, certain portion of the player base are playing it the day it comes out or very shortly after it comes out. Some people are still getting through things in that latter half. So whether it feels like a lot of content or not depends on the amount of time you play. And certainly Warcraft is a game that people can put in lots of time, and others like not so much.
Oh yeah.
And so I don't think I mind that as much, I suppose, and I would be very excited to have consistent content, kind of like Telltale games where they release the episodes over a period of time. You can come in later and enjoy the whole thing, or get it the day of, but there's substantive content with each one. So I remain hopeful. What is this? 3 months from launch? 2 months? August, September, October.
Yeah,
It's end of August. 2 months. If you math it out, a 2 month pace per patch, per significant patch like this might be, what is it, 6 times a year? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna get that. Does that sound too crazy? Like six times a year, or is this just because it's a pretty early patch, right?
Yeah.
Well, and if you think about it too, you don't know how much content is going to be in each patch. So yeah, it might be 6 times a year. If they keep with that pace, sure, we're getting a massive dungeon and a small raid. What if they just add more story through, like, I don't know, maybe more world quests or expand Suramar out in the next patch? Then the one after that, maybe some other type of story content, as well as like another dungeon or something. Because, one of the things that we lost at, I think in Pandaria as well as Draenor, is that there were no dungeons added after the initial ones. I know we got more scenarios, but no actual dungeons. And with how, immersive and tied to the entire expansion that these dungeons are for this expansion, I would really find it odd if they didn't actually give us more to do, as the course of the expansion carries on. Because, we're in pretty much every dungeon required at least like twice, it seems. So why would they just hold that content back and keep us to, the older content as opposed to creating more fresh stuff and do kind of more of the same, I don't know, like mission statement mind of like, give them more, tie everything together and stuff like that.
Like, why would they? Like, I just think I think it keeps parceling things out. I think keeps the player base interested. It's the big problem with Warlords was, and I was always disappointed by this. These large zones where you do those quests where you do Group Finder to get into a raid, and then you just zerg around in circles, like in oh darn it, I'm forgetting the name of the city in Draenor. The Draenei city. What's it called? You go there.
Shatrath?
In Shatrath, yes. Like, awesome looking place. It's so cool. It's empty. Like, there was virtually nothing in there.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of spots like that on the map. I think and that always felt super disappointing. And I feel like with Legion already, the entire zones are fleshed out. And I like this idea that they could potentially add more zones. Like Firelands in Cataclysm. I really dug Firelands. Like stuff like that. I'd like to see, additional new zones that aren't too gimmicky. I think Timeless Isle felt gimmicky to me. I didn't like it. I remember in Pandaria going there.
Another person who doesn't like it.
It was just full of nothing. Like, and maybe it was sort of an experiment on World Quest because it feels kind of, just choose your own adventure kind of thing. But I like story questing zones. I really like the effort that's put in, and it makes them worth doing, even if it's like non-linear, like Firelands was. And that's basically what Suramar reminds me of a lot, where it's just we're building up this area, we're doing quests every now and then, and trying to accomplish things. I feel like there's still a lot of untapped real estate in there, if that makes any sense.
No, for sure.
Like if you said it, John, it just feels like a big city. and there's a lot of quests and things to do in there, but there's a lot of parts, like that whole zone full of elites is like, it's kind of empty because you just go in there to corpse run to complete your quests, and like it, I think there's more that can be done with Suramar, and who knows where else. Like maybe they'll bring us to other weird places back in Eastern Kingdoms or Kalimdor, or just have a whole other new area. Like, are we gonna go to back to the demonic lands again as sort of a final tier of this fight cool. too? Like there's a whole aspect of the setup of this story that I'm not seeing like the back end of at all. It just feels like Illidan and demons and legions coming, and then I'm in Suramar. The end of the story right now is like I'm hanging out in Suramar helping these guys, and I don't remember why I'm here because I'm so busy with this new narrative now. So I really think there's a lot of story threads that need to tie back together because it's really open right now.
Well, I'm curious. Sorry, go ahead. Okay. Well, I'm curious if we are ever going to take Suramar. Like, right now they have this amazing, majestic-looking city that we kind of get to run around in, but not really. You kind of always have to worry if you're going to be found out. There's a whole area that's, as Beau said, just corpse run town. And it's a cool city, though. And so I'm curious if the time ever comes where we progress that story to a point where, and I actually thought they were going to do this, where now, okay, that whole, like, right side or left side, whatever it is, of the city is now safe. And you can just run around. You don't have to be enchanted, whatever, but we're still fighting for that other part. And then slowly as the expansion goes on, you take over the entire city and it becomes like maybe its own little hub. And who knows, maybe the story turns around to where now you can't go to Dalaran anymore because Dalaran got messed up or something.
What if it crashed?
Ooh, that'd be cool. What if it crashed right in the middle of Suramar and Suramar and Dalaran fused?
No, I was thinking more of like, what if it like crashes in the ocean? Like, okay, first of all, John, would you be really sad if your order hall was part of crashed Dalaran?
No.
Okay, well then there we go. We're gonna do that.
Is it still awesome in there? Then I'm okay with it. If it's sucky, then maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, so there's the thing. Like, people talk about Suramar like it's Assassin's Creed. Well, didn't in 2 you go through and you like start taking over pieces of the city, so it is actually your piece of the city?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that would totally make sense because a big plot point is that they're not the Nightfallen, they're the other uppity elves.
The uppity elves.
Wow.
Whatever they're called. But the thing is that they're with the Legion. That's the whole point. So it would make sense that we slowly take the city back over and everything. Maybe we find a way to cure the withered or something like that, and then they can have their city back and not be crazy zombie crack addicts. And we move the story that way. Like that seems really interesting to me. And Beau, like you said, Illidan just kind of poof disappeared. And we played through this whole huge plot line of like he's supposed to be Anakin, and he's just gone. So what's going to go on with that? I mean, there's so much story that has been just introduced with just this expansion, much less any of the other stuff that, if they want to tie threads from other things. I mean, all the order halls have really cool story stuff. I mean, the Death Knight stuff just makes me really think that the next expansion is going to have to deal with the Lich King again, just because. And I mean, this is just the bare minimum of story that I'm getting from that. So there's so much rich storytelling available just from this little chunk of the expansion that we have, that I really think that they're going to continue a lot of the stuff through the patches that are coming through. So again, I'm really hopeful and excited, and it seems like they've got a really good course set for what's going to happen.
Can I tell you my secret favorite part about this expansion so far?
Sure.
This is the thing I've gotten the most enjoyment out so far.
It's the fish, I know it.
Okay, hold on. The second most, because the fish are pretty great.
Okay, that was a lot of fun in Raid playing Kick the Fish.
The fish are the best. They're so good.
I didn't know that you can do multiple kicks on it. I had no idea. And that other people can do it. That was awesome.
Kick that fish.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I was gonna say, you know what needs to happen is community members need to develop a sport in some zone where they can set up goalposts.
Yep.
And we have the new esport, fish kicking soccer or something.
You could have a Tauren stand in the middle as like you got to kick it between his horns.
Well, I was going to say, can engineers still make flares?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, just boom, right there.
Flares, have a Tauren as like 2 goalposts.
Yeah, and if it goes out of bounds somewhere where you designate it, then you have to bring it. The one person can bring it back in, right, and throw it in like in soccer.
Yeah.
Anyways, but your second favorite part, John.
My
Sorry,
second favorite thing. So there is a bit of lore in this expansion that is hidden lore. It's not the overt stuff that they're kind of beating you over the head with every quest, but there's secret lore this expansion. I'm going to talk a little bit about it. It shouldn't get too spoilery, but you know, you may want to consider that.
If it's secret, then how will we know if we've even known it?
You don't. It's going to be a surprise. So the first thing is the eyeball tree boss. He whispers prophecies while you're fighting him. And trying to find out what these prophecies mean are a blast and super cool. And I think give hints about what's coming this expansion, maybe, unless he's lying, which is the other thing that I'm always going back and forth on, is like, is he telling the truth? What's he doing? And, you know, it's things like, one of them is the Diamond King is now a pawn. I'm not looking at it, so don't quote me on any of these. I might be a little bit off, but
Okay, well, first and foremost, I wasn't there for that boss fight, and I'm actually really excited now.
Okay, so
to see some of these things. This is actually really cool.
So yeah, he says the Diamond King is actually a pawn. He says on her third death, it will pave the way to our coming.
Really?
See, look at what's happening to Ben. What's happening to Ben right now is exactly what's been happening to me as I go through and I read these prophecies and things. I'm like, oh, what's that mean? I'm so excited.
Like, well, I know who both of those are.
Yeah, those are some of the easy ones. There's some that are a little tougher. There's one that's clearly Jaina saying that we've filled the crater in her heart.
Oh.
Yeah, but aren't those things maybe just, not to put a pin in what you're saying, just things to mess with you and make you despair, right?
Well, it could be. It could be lies,
the thing is,
but it could be real.
But the thing is like all that takes place in the Emerald Nightmare, which is part of the corruption from the old gods, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So it could be.
Yep, it's old god stuff. Draven Dresden in the chat, I gotta thank him. He's writing them in the chat room. You're doing the Lord's work, so now I can actually just flat out read them.
Nice.
5 keys to open our way, 5 torches light our path. The Lord of Ravens will turn the key. To find him, drown yourself in the circle of stars. The boy king serves at the master's table. 3 lies will he offer you.
Oh, that's cool.
That's we're talking Anduin there, probably, right?
Oh,
probably. And so the Lord of Ravens, I didn't think of Medivh, but you're right. It could be Medivh. It could technically be Khadgar, because with Medivh's staff, he also turns into a raven. But it could also be Lord Ravenholt.
Yeah.
Anyway, King of Diamonds has been made a pawn. Flesh is his gift. He is your true creator. At the hour of her third death, she ushers in our coming. Her heart is a crater, and we have filled it. From the earth...
That's Jaina, yeah.
Yeah, that's Jaina, the crater one. I mean, probably, again, but it seems obvious, I think. From the earth, he draws strength. Our earth, our strength.
This is the Night Elf thing, right? This is Druidic. From the like a big tree.
It could be shamanistic, though.
Yeah, it could be shamans.
It could be Thrall.
Yeah, but Thrall's getting weaker.
But the thing is remember, he's the new Earth Warden.
From the earth, he draws strength. Our earth, our strength. So if he can't draw, does that mean he's weak?
No, it means
Or-
he's using their strength, but
Yeah,
maybe
is he pulling like
unwittingly.
demonic strength? I mean, he doesn't have Doomhammer anymore. Maybe his connection to the elements he found a different way, except it's some sort of corrupted, tainted thing.
And its surface blazes light, masking shadow below.
Huh.
So
This
these
is really cool.
these are the prophecies that could be outright lies. They could be prophecies. They could be truths. But they're super cool. The other thing, while we're adding to it, I'll add one more fun thing for you all to think about. I did the Cosimoth the Hungering quest line, the little hidden quest line to get a secret world quest.
Oh, I don't know if I've done that one. Where do you get it?
It's pretty cool. You get it on a little inlet that's around the broken shore.
Okay.
While you're over there, you will meet Drakthul, an orc warlock who's hanging out there. And when you talk to him, he doesn't really want to talk to you. But one of the most interesting things in his dialogue, and it's honestly a little haunting, so maybe appropriate for October. You're talking to him and you're basically like, hey man, what are you doing out here? There's demons here. You shouldn't be here. And he's like, I'm not afraid of demons. Like, silly person talking to me. I fear not demons. I'm a master warlock. I've been dealing with demons since before you were born. And then when you talk to him again, you're like, well, it sounds like you're pretty tough. Do you want to help us fight the Legion? And he says, you're a fool. The Legion is not your enemy. And it's
Whoa.
like, well, that's a shocking revelation. So all these things point towards old god stuff, which we
Yeah.
think is maybe coming either later expansion or maybe a different expansion. But it is all extremely cool, and it has me super excited and stoked about the story.
Yeah, the fact that okay. So, John, you and I, we've talked about this before. Beau, you probably talked to John about it. It's one of the things that he talks about when he talks story in WoW, and it's
Yeah.
the idea that every single villain that we've had has just basically been corrupted somehow. It's a recurring theme throughout World of Warcraft. But here's the thing: if there's all this old god stuff happening, it's like that to the the 10th power. But it's so much cooler if we're doing something like more directly related to it, as opposed to just, oh well, Jaina's corrupted now. Okay, we stopped her and she's not corrupted anymore. It's like it seems like there's this so much more of a huge overwhelming force, and especially if it isn't just the Burning Legion, if we are going to start interacting more with the old gods and everything. I mean, this is something that just seems really cool, and the fact that, and I mean, I'm really sad that Chris Metzen left, but I mean, if he laid down a whole path for World of Warcraft to keep on going, he would still be with the company. So now we're getting into other, storytellers and seeing kind of what they can do and what they can create, and maybe push things in an entirely different direction.
Yeah, I think the trouble with it's got to be a difficult challenge, because when we're coming up with the lore for this, we have to keep in mind that there are raid bosses and dungeons, and like there's the story can't just be an RP melodrama that you participate in. It's
True.
There's got to be an overwhelming horde of enemies, and there's got to be giant, like, we're at the point now where we're chilling with gods, like it's nothing.
Yeah.
I did a bit of the warrior stuff, and it's like oh hey, I don't even remember how I got there. Like, it was just like, hey, why don't you go over here? And it's like, there's Odin. It's like if I walk down the road, and I don't know, I'm a fighter, so I fight people randomly. It's what I do. And some gentleman comes up to me, he's like, hey, Odin has noticed you. Why don't you shoot on up to the like there. We accept it because it's a video game and it's fun, and everything about it is cool, but there is this sense of like scale where it's like, especially with the Warcraft expansions, where it's just like, well, now then there's this big bad guy, and now then there's this big bad guy. Like, we're revisiting. I hope it's not a series of revisiting things. I guess is like we had a sense of nostalgia in Draenor, right? We're getting a sense of nostalgia for Burning Crusade here in Legion with all of that business. I'd be looking forward to something new. And I mean, old gods can feel new because they've only ever been very lightly, I mean, strongly alluded to, but there's no army of faceless ones really.
Yeah.
Like it's, but I'd be very curious to find something new. I kind of like, have you ever seen this anime called Gurren Lagann?
Nope.
Where
No.
it's a mecha anime, and anyways,
Oh.
you know, they're dudes that they get into robots, right? But by the end of the series, they're basically the size of universes, because the stakes keeps just getting bigger and bigger, and it's two robots that are the size of the universes. They're throwing galaxies at each, like, you know how you pick up a rock in a moment of desperate. They're like, pick up a
my
galaxy, he
gosh.
throws it at the guy. It's super satirical. It's really awesome. And I get that sense from Warcraft, where it's like, okay, eventually we kill gods, now we kill titans, and what's next, right? Like, well,
Yeah.
there's some problems in Mudsprocket. Let's go and solve the local farm dispute. You know, like it's never gonna scale back down.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
old gods seem epic. The Titans seem epic, but it doesn't seem like you know, once we've defeated them, if that's the next expansion, or like, you know, what's next, right? So it's
Yeah, how do you go from Sargeras, a character who literally was like, oh, there's evil stuff on this planet, I'm gonna just cut it in half. Like, how
So-
does a group of 10 people fight that and then say, well, I gotta dig
So-
through poo for a key?
So here's a theory, and it's a crazy one, but I have had this thought prior to this conversation that at some point we do become space travelers, and it
Oh,
no
yeah.
longer becomes World of Warcraft. It becomes like Galaxy of Warcraft or something like that. And I know it sounds weird, but the Draenei have spaceships.
Mhm.
So once everything becomes big enough that local Azeroth is just too small for this narrative epicness that keeps growing, we may develop into some kind, like, I just like to see some kind of weird thing where we actually somehow it's EVE Online now.
Like, what if all
But
of a
you have your
sudden we're
character,
Warcraft 40k?
pretty much, right?
Yes!
Like, pretty much that's where I'm going with this. And you're gonna have your badass armor, and there's gonna be guns. Well, there are guns, so you'll have your laser guns, you'll have chain swords, you'll have, you know, Unicron will be the next big raid boss from the Transformers universe. You know, like, you'll be fighting planets. It's like, there's the raid boss. Quick, hit
Well-
that little continent down there with your sword.
Well, I mean, the progression is going to keep going because, you know, they're totally Dragon Ball Zing it, where it's like, oh, he's over 9,000. Well, now power levels are at like 80 billion. So, you know, whoopity-doo. But, so we start cleansing the worlds of the Burning Legion, right? So we're going and just like glassing a whole planet and, you know, wiping everything out there. And then, you know, life finds a way. So yeah, I can see this. I mean, so the Draenei have spaceships. Guess what? The Legion have spaceships too. I mean, they're all over the place. It seems like they're slowly opening our minds to, yeah, let's leave this place. I mean, you know, yeah, we took a portal to alternate timelines. What is so different about, you know, taking a portal to a different world? I mean, the Legion already does that. Or hopping in a spaceship and flying to a different world. I mean, the priest class hall is in space, like literally in space.
Is it now?
Oh yeah, it's pretty
And
cool.
here I was bad-mouthing priests earlier, and it sounds like they've got one of the coolest order halls. Damn.
Yeah, I mean the Celestials, the whatever you call them,
The Naru?
you know, yeah, the Naru, they take you to a spaceship. That's what it is. You go out to a window, you look, and there's like asteroids out there, and you're
Got
in space.
abducted.
It's really cool.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you need to do a priest now just so you can see that. But no, I think that is a kind of a natural progression because we can't keep finding random like landmasses on Azeroth. Like, oh, here's another one. Who'd have thought? You know, we've had these maps for forever. We've gone to Oldham and Ulduar where there's giant like globes of the world. Oh, it's missing the Broken Isles. Oh, it's missing Pandaria. You know, it's like at some point, you know, suspension of disbelief. It's just like, God, these watchers are really bad at making maps of the place they're supposed to be guarding. You know.
Well, plus
Yeah.
these people have been around for like 5 million years and they're still using like horses and wagons and swords. Like they're actually really not that evolved. Like they're kind of slow on the uptake when it comes to figuring out technology. They're like, I don't know, it worked 5 million years ago, it'll work today. Churn that butter. Like it's
That fancy thing called an elevator.
like I would like to see them progress a little bit. But Ben, I'm gonna just say, because I feel like I should acknowledge it. We don't have to touch on this because we've devoted way more time than a show should. But you mentioned power levels in Dragon Ball Z, and I just, for a brief moment, I got a vision of my character's hair changing color and going funny, and I got really, really excited for no good reason, but it made me really happy for a minute. So I just want to acknowledge how happy you made me, making me imagine my character going Super Saiyan.
You know what? I'm just gonna go make a male blood elf right now with the Super Saiyan hair.
Yeah, it's not the
It's
same.
super short.
You've got to get you've got to be able to change it. Like it's got to change. Like it's not that the hair looks the way it looks. It's that the hair looks one way and then they get mad and it looks another way.
What
Like
if they gave you a
that's the
toy?
key.
You have a toy that you can like
Oh.
click, and it's a 15-minute cooldown because your power only stays that high for so long, and then it goes back and then has like a little bit of a cooldown because this way it would be
you're
lore
tired.
like because you have to like rest.
Blizzard, please. This would be the first toy I'd be. No, the second toy that I would be really excited about. Kickable Fish was your first win. So
Well, the blazing wings were technically the first, but then they changed
yeah,
it.
then they messed it up. So
Yeah.
All right.
What I will say about, because Alessander in the chat room says what we actually need is a personal story, right? And that was a thing that SWOTOR did kind of well, even though I only played about halfway through. It did feel more like my story, and this expansion feels more like than it ever has. Like, yeah, there's other people in my order hall. I don't know what they're doing. They're not experiencing my story,
Well,
like,
you're their
we're-
leader.
Right, but like the other players, with the garrison stuff, it always felt like this is my phase of the garrison. It was very like suspension of disbelief breaking.
Yeah.
And I find the presentation this time around does feel like it's more like this our own story. And I think there is room for this game to evolve, at least from the narrative side of things, for you to be able to make choices and to experience different things based on those choices for your own story. I think that's totally possible, especially with phasing.
Mhm.
And it's incentivizing to play alts if you go dark side with one of your characters, for lack of a better trope, and then you go light side with someone else. So I think that would be a great way to take future content.
Yeah, and I mean, there are ways to have branching pathways that really feel like they matter and everything. And I'm really sorry if I kind of break this game and how it works to everybody. But The Walking Dead, the Telltale game, the first one, it did a really great job of making you think that every decision that you made actually mattered, that it worked. And as you're playing through the storyline, you're doing everything. Like, there are all these different choices that you have to make. Like, you have to choose between two people and one of them dies, and just different things like that. And the storytelling was just good enough that you didn't really realize that choice didn't matter at all. Because later on in the game, something happens where, at some point, both of those characters are dead. So the choice you made, while it was important at the time, doesn't matter, a session later when that person died too. It's one of those things where they masked it so well in the storytelling process that it just felt like a natural progression through it. So if Blizzard is able to do something, really give you all those different varied choices and everything, but finally, route you back to the same, end point, that'd be a great expansion. And I think everybody would love it. Well, at least everybody who actually really enjoys the story. The people who just want to level up their dungeons might not be the one for them, but
I think too it can tie in. I'll tell you, you reminded me there, Ben, just of one of my more disappointing moments of Legion, which was when I started playing the Demon Hunter campaign. You get to the point where you can pick between the Night Elf hippie dude who's an iconoclast, or I think it's Kane, the Blood Elf guy, who's an authoritarian, sort of militaristic, by the book and whatever.
Yeah.
And then part of it in parentheses it says this choice will not it will only affect story and not gameplay. I was like, well, I think that it should, Matt. Like the composition of what my army looks like, or what my effort, like what I'm leading, should depend on the generals I'm picking, because they have different philosophies.
Exactly.
And so I had this sense when we were talking, like for example, spec. You can just swap out specs right now. You can just swap out talents. Pretty meaningless. But what if you're a warlock and you have a quest and it takes place in a school, and you can choose to kill the children for demonic power or let them live in some sort of narrative aspect, right? And your choice will affect what you're talented. Like at end game, when you're raiding, you are this way because these are the choices your character made throughout a narrative progression. I think these things can be done. And I mean, they know their audience better and their gameplay better, but that definitely personalizes the story for individuals when you say, well, I'm a Fury Warrior because I solve problems by hitting things.
Yeah.
And I don't think about them. That would make me like a protection person, or, like, or not even on spec, but just I have this talent because of the series of choices I made that landed me there. Would be very interesting narratively. And so for the Demon Hunter thing, I was like, oh, there's no benefit. I don't know which one to pick. I couldn't decide. I spent an hour. I got up, walked away, did some other stuff, and spent a long time like, which one would I? Which 3D model do I want to look at in my order? Because they're both cool. They're both cool. It was hard to make that choice.
Yeah. The only downside to something along those lines is them trying to. I mean, there's going to be the min-max players, and like that's where that whole idea kind of falls apart, which is the really sad thing in my opinion. But something, isn't it?
John's been busy. I realize why he's so quiet right now. And oh my god, he went to town on me.
Oh yeah.
Well, you got long hair, Beau.
Yeah. So for the audio listeners who can't see this, basically on the live stream, he's put a bunch of Super Saiyan hair over top of us, and it looks amazing.
Yes, definitely. But one of the things that's kind of slightly to go with your point, when you're a Fury Warrior, you hit things. That's how you solve problems. I'm finding a lot of that actually comes with just reading the research from your artifact weapon. I mean, luckily you're a monk, I'm a monk. We have the very different play styles of all three of them. So when you're going through and reading all that stuff, you see that they kind of incorporated those philosophies into what they did for the design for the weapons, and kind of how you went through and got the artifact quest. One of the things that I'm happy about, but also bummed about, is the fact that the artifact weapon storyline essentially just stops, being gameplay as soon as you actually get the weapon, and then it's written down, which is cool. But I really was hoping for, building artifact power, like going through actual like quests and using my staff for something, and having the story along with that and have that grow as well.
Well, and it might, because one thing you do have to keep in mind, at least that I've noticed, and this may mean something, this may not mean anything, but back behind your artifact forge are a bunch of little pedestals, and as you unlock appearances, new appearances appear on those pedestals, and I think there's something like 5 or 6 different ones. It doesn't count your base one, so it only counts your upgraded, your PvP, and your hidden so far. So that's only like half of the possible appearances, assuming we fill the entire thing, which is making an assumption. So it could be that there's going to be a lot more artifact-based story to unlock additional appearance options, additional things like that going forward.
Well, John, you're lucky, because at our reforging artifact thing, there's no place for all those little different pedestals. The only pedestal that we have is the thing from that one place that's there, that's really tied into story, that I can't remember what the name of it is. And then that's about it.
Really? What?
There's like another pedestal over here, but your menu covers that up, and your weapon appears over the turtle's head, and it's really far away, and you can't even really zoom in to see it.
Yeah, I have a question about that. So is it light of a loon or a loon's light? You know, the Naru that we
Yeah.
get? Does everyone get that? Is that a monk
Yep.
only? Everyone gets the Naru.
Everyone
So
gets it.
so in the monk class order hall, it looks like there's 4 spots for 4 different things. But I guess
thought
we're
that's
just
where we're putting the pillars, but nope.
no, the pillars are in Dalaran. Or yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what I noticed too in Dalaran, in that chamber of whatever you call it, chamber of storytelling. There is, I think there's 6 spots, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Right?
Could
Because
be.
there's a lot of talk about there's 5 different keys. Like there's the 4 we get from the questing zones, 1 from Suramar, and there's a 6th spot for something. I don't know what it's for. But it felt like anyways in the order hall that there should have been 4 spots, and I was meaning to ask if anyone found anything else out about that, but I guess not.
Well,
all right.
there's stuff. And
Yeah.
what we've discovered is that we have no idea is the answer.
Okay.
Which means
But-
that, you know what? The content dropped at a point where there is plenty of time for us to learn all that stuff.
That's right.
Stop hitting the microphone.
Okay.
Yeah, you're getting
I'm talking to a
assaulted
cat.
by a cat. Yeah.
Yes,
There's
yes,
just
I
all
am.
kinds of shenanigans going on. We've got a Super Saiyan hair. We've got cat tails randomly appearing in the mic or on the camera. So everyone's all distracted now.
Yep.
But I'm looking forward. To this content. I think it can't come soon enough. I think this is perfect timing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of stuff to do, but it's not stuff I want to do. Like I'm made my feelings clear about fishing. And I have a level 3 fishing shack, and I felt I'm just not. I see that legendary Nat Pagel fishing rod, and I'm like, no. And archaeology, those quest givers, I'm like, oh sweet, quest on my map. Let me go see what it is. You want to dig up 60 archaeology sites? No,
No one does.
like
No,
that should
I
be
don't.
optional. Like and even the profession quests, there's just enough of them. I don't love profession questing, to be honest with you. I want my quests to be narrative quests or getting cool stuff quests. But so this is content that I don't want to engage with. So like hopefully there's some good narrative stuff, and world quests are okay too. So yeah. So bring it fast and furious.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so.
Right, John?
Yeah. That's how I feel about it. Dang it. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes. I at the end of the day, I am excited about new content, whether it has stuff for me or not, because I'll say this just as a quick little closer. We did this last week, we did a whole bunch of time walking dungeons. That's a feature that's not new in Legion, but
Crap, I
it
gotta do that
felt
still.
new because I got in with a bunch of friends. We went through all of them in one night, kind of unintentional. Had a lot of fun, and it was new and exciting because it was a feature that wasn't new, but it was coming out at a time when people were invested and interested in the game. So keeping people invested and interested can sometimes make things that already exist in the game more exciting and more interesting and more compelling, because I did not care about time walking before. And then I ended up having a blast, then I got an upgrade out of it, and it felt really good. So to me, more content, just keep bringing it. I'm all for it. And hopefully, to the people that are still naysayers in the chat, hopefully it maintains through the expansion.
Yes. John, I haven't done my time walking yet this week. Do you want to do them all again?
Maybe. Depends on
Wow.
when.
Wow.
How much will you pay him?
10 gold per dungeon.
Per dungeon. So
Yeah.
Oh, it's a very rich offer.
50 gold. It's not bad.
Back in
Do people
2000.
do people do that still? I remember,
I don't think
to be like,
so.
queue up, I'm a tank, pay me 50 gold, and even farther back, pay me 10 gold, or, you see those things in
Yeah.
trade chat or in local chat. No one does that anymore, right? Because Raid Finder killed, or looking for dungeon killed
Yeah,
that.
pretty much.
Right.
But back in 2006, John would be saying 10 gold per dungeon. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Back in the
There's a lot
days
of gold
Burning
back then.
Crusade.
Yeah,
That's more than I'll make in a week.
definitely. Beau, thank you very much for joining us. It has been fantastic talking to you. We always have a blast when you're here. And you know what? You should come on every time.
Yeah. Am I replacing John? Are we getting rid of John?
I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with that.
Ben said that, and that's immediately what I went to. I was like, okay, I guess I've been kicked off the show. Because that's exactly how I took it. Was like, all right, I guess I gotta go. It's just the way I got it. Bye, guys.
Podcast can't have 3 regular hosts.
I got voted off the island, so away I go.
Seriously, though, we're very happy to have you, and you're welcome anytime. Thank you very much for joining us.
I love hanging out with you guys. You guys are a real riot, and you guys actually make me want to play Warcraft more when I listen to you guys speak on Azeroth Roundtable. So it's always pleasure. It's a pleasure. That's what I'm saying.
Where can people find you in the meantime?
Where can they find me? You can go to Twitter and find me at Beau Schwartz.
Just look for him.
You can find me there, or you can come to Ottawa, Ontario, in Canada, and find me. But I'll make it difficult for you.
He's hiding in a tree.
I've hidden 5 keys around Canada.
You have to visit each of the questing zones in Ottawa, Ontario, and only then, if you complete all the raid wings of Parliament Hill, will you get to meet me. And I'll speak in a Malfurion voice, so you'll regret it.
Actually,
Welcome to Canada. I can't do Malfurion.
Oh, Taronda.
Welcome to Canada. I'm Malfurion.
Hello, I'm Canadian. I'm a Canadian night elf.
Oh, Queen Victoria. We love our queen.
I got
can't do
locked in
Malfurion.
some
You've got
roots.
the
What's that
Malfurion
about?
unlocked.
Taronda, tell me what it's all about, Taronda.
Oh, jeez.
Speaking of which,
I'm
though,
sorry
a
I
dude
failed you, Taronda.
A dude with antlers on his head would really fit in Canada. Like, if the druids ever visited Earth, I think they'd come to Canada.
There's probably some dude walking around with antlers, like, strapped to his head in Canada.
You know what? Like, yep. Yes.
All right. There we go.
That's
John,
confirmed.
how can people find you?
Well, I'm also on Twitter. You can follow me at John_Jagger. If you want to hear me talk about Heroes of the Storm, you can listen to an old episode of Core.
Core!
We recorded one over a week ago. It's a little outdated, but it's there.
There's a fresh one coming out of our pulsating sack in a few days.
Oh.
That's a quest item in World of Warcraft. Anyone who thinks I'm being dirty, it's
no,
a joke.
It's not a quest item. I made it.
Ugh.
Oh, sorry. It's not a crafting regent, is it?
It's you make it through alchemy.
Okay. It's an item. Then.
Yes.
Just simply an item.
So,
And
World of
it's soul
Warcraft.
bound. I can't trade it. I'm sorry.
Well, we'll just have to live without your pulsating sack.
Most pulsating sacks are bound to their owners.
But Beau's on that show too when we do it, and
Yes.
you can find out more information about that at heroesforyou.com. And I was about to talk about a third show that I don't do, so I'm not going to talk about it and just say that's it.
Is it just because it's around Halloween time, so you feel like there's this need to talk about another show that doesn't
There's
exist?
something I should have done. For people who know what that third show was back in the day when I was doing it,
Yeah.
there might be a little Azeroth Roundtable related treat for you.
Oh, really?
In a future episode. Mhm.
I wish I knew about stuff like that.
Mhm.
And you always tell me these things on the show.
Mhm.
So good.
Working on something.
Okay.
Takes-
Thanks for the heads up.
Takes place in Westfall.
Ooh, fancy.
I like the transparency of Azeroth Roundtable. All the big decisions happen before the people. You don't shut yourself off in a boardroom and think of these executive decisions on how to direct the show.
Well, I mean,
They're right here. They happen live.
I kicked off John and invited you on, so I mean, I guess I did the same thing to him just now. So, okay, well, that works.
Ben, where can people find you?
Hey, you're doing your job better than John. Good job.
I'm tanking this podcast.
Yeah. Take it over.
if you're looking for me, you can find me on Twitter. I am at Ben the Mage. This show, however, I actually have other shows. I could talk about those. Battle Pets, we have a new episode that's up. Geektopia, we put one up last weekend, so check those out. This show, however, Azeroth Roundtable, you can find us on Twitter. We are at AzerothRT. Of course, all of our episodes are found on AzerothRoundtable.com, on iTunes, Stitcher, and TuneIn. And if you have any questions, comments, you want to tell us that we're absolutely right or absolutely wrong or somewhere in between about, how fast these patches are coming, you can always email us. So send those to AzerothRoundtable@gmail.com. And of course, last but not least, our theme contains excerpts from Rhino's theme by Kevin MacLeod. You can find more of his music at Incompetech.com.
You did it, kinda.
He's a great guy, that Kevin MacLeod. He's got a lot of great tunes that you can just use.
Yep, he does. Except Ben has a hard time saying Rhino's theme.
Yeah, it's because I keep trying to go back to whatever the last one was, which I don't even remember right now. So yeah.
Yeah.
What?
But,
I missed. Oh.
But at this point, I would like to say that Beau, I'm sorry you failed your audition. John, you're hired back again, and I believe there's one little bit of business that you still need to do.
Hey everybody, this show was made possible by our friends and friends who support us over at patreon.com. If you want to join the legion that is our Patreon supporters, you can go to patreon.com/AzerothRT and, get some cool stuff. We're trying to do some cool exclusives. This month is kind of a big month for it, so there's going to be all sorts of cool stuff. We reached a new tier. I teased last week that we were going to do some work on the tiers, and then anybody who does listen to the, follow me on Twitter bit knows that this was kind of a weird, tough week for me. So I didn't do any of that, but I still plan to. So it'll happen.
Will I be involved in this at all?
Maybe, if I need you to be.
I'd appreciate that.
I don't want to make more work for you, Ben. I don't want to make more work for you. But if I'm going to make more work for you, I'll tell you.
But see, here's the thing. I enjoy doing this stuff. So let's talk.
Okay. There's a withered training thing that I put up.
I know. That was a surprise to me. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you want to know why I didn't tell you about that, Ben?
Because that was the night that I was recording with the Ludra?
Nope.
Oh.
You want to know the real reason why I didn't tell you about it?
Because you didn't know you were doing it yourself that night?
Yeah, I didn't know until about, the moment I turned it on. I was like, this is going to be a thing.
I had a feeling. And that's all right.
I'm spontaneous like that, Ben.
Patreon.com/AzerothRT.
Yep, that's the place for your face.
Beau, again, thank you for joining us. Everybody, thank you for listening. And you know what? Have a great weekend. And don't forget to buy your BlizzCon stuff early.
Well, okay.
That's
hey, do we want to tease who's going to do the thing before BlizzCon?
We have someone lined up for the next champion of Azeroth Roundtable. We'll talk more about that next episode.
Okay.
Hey,
look at
that's
you.
Right. That's what you gotta do. Keep them coming back.
Look at you teasing, man. Teasing.
Okay, now I have to go check on my pulsating sack.
I'm excited.
Oh, you need to cut that out and give it to Scott.
I was
put it somewhere.
I was actually going to say something, and I started the I'm excited, and I was like, oh man, the timing for this is really unfortunate. I'm going to just stop at excited and just leave it at that.
Perfect. Man. That's how the show's going to end, because I'm stopping the recording right now.
Yeah, you should just cut it off at the end where it says I'm excited. That's a great point.
Yeah, which by the way, Beau, I did send Scott the I like a good mount that you did last time you were on.
Oh, is that where that comes from?
Yep.
I like a good mount that I've been hearing on TMS. I was like, I didn't remember. We're getting to the point now where stuff's showing up on TMS that I have no idea. I'm just like, what is that? It's my voice, but I don't remember this.
He's been playing and I still don't know who's doing it in the clip. The I'm ready, I'm not ready. He's been playing that a lot.
I think it might be both me at various points in time. I know, because I was like, one's John and one's me, clearly. Or maybe it was Scott. And I'm like, did he use me twice? I mean, I just don't know. One of them is me, but I can't tell which one. Like,
Yeah, because
Man.
you hear the first one and I'm like, oh, that's clearly Beau, and then you hear the second one, you're like, oh, that's clearly Beau. Wait, he doesn't do both parts. He usually only does one or the other. And there's like a third voice in the background going. "Rah, rah, rah, rah."
That's pretty funny. No, it's yeah. Well, I'm always flattered to have my stuff taken out of context. It's fun.
Yeah,
I think Nevermore did so on Twitter too.
Yeah, she tends to do
Joined
that.
Azeroth Roundtable. Beau's talking about coming too fast or too slow. It's like,
Yep. Thanks
yeah.
for tweeting that. Beau really appreciates it.
You're
Right.
welcome.
Great, it's great stuff for my feed. People come to me for the hard hitting sexual innuendo.
But do they come too fast or too slow to you?
Really, as long as they come just right, it's fine.
Okay.
I can't help it. That's just where my mind goes all the time.
I've watched your streams with Jocelyn. I know just how deep the mind is. It's like old gods level depravity, which is cool. I'm not judging. I just, what is it? Game recognized game.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Well, we had some fun. There was Super Saiyan hair. There were cattails.
The hair was really funny. That really threw me off. And then the cattail. I'm like, what is going on? It's good stuff.
Sometimes you gotta pull out Super Saiyan hair on the stream.
So this is the after show. This is where we're supposed to get Azeroth Blue, right?
I mean, we could.
Yeah.
I don't know.
it's possible.
I think I kind of let out all my blue this week. I talked about my body spray routine on Good Bad or Bullshit this week, and I described it. Well, I'll share it with you guys
Well,
here.
let me ask first. Is it Axe, and do you expect a whole bunch of women to just come rushing at you to sniff your pits?
Okay. Well,
Ugh.
there's a timeline here. That might have been true like 10 or so years ago. When I would go out dancing on the weekend and try to pick up the ladies. I haven't done that in a long time, but I still do wear body spray. But I described it as, a dab on one cheek, then a Jackson Pollock, and a little pant, and then a little pant squirt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
You
the
gotta-
most important one, right? Because, of course, that's... Yeah.
No, it's just
That's where the
it's just
sniffing's gonna
because
happen.
if for whatever reason throughout the day, your pants end up opening for good or for not.
Wait, what?
Or if you're-
For good or for ill, you don't want it smelling like a wet diaper in there.
Yeah,
So
or-
it's a good luck squirt of body spray, and you have to be wearing pants so it traps it all in the environment in that ecosystem.
And if you're walking around and a dog comes and sniffs your crotch, they're instantly repelled by the stink that is body spray.
They would sniff my crotch whether there was body spray or not. Like, that's musk. They smell different things. Can't control that. That's pheromones.
Oh, okay.
Oh, or maybe they just smell poo because they like that stuff too. Dogs. Who knows what's on their pants? But not that there's
my.
poo in my pants, but
It's either
maybe
body
they-
spray, musk,
I
or
assume
poo.
a dog would know that it's poo in my pants before I or another human being would ever know. Just
You know
because.
what? We're good. We can just stop that right there.
There's poo everywhere.
But yeah, the Jackson Pollock's the most important part.
Yeah.
Just,
Oh, okay.
put one shush. Was one shush.
And
Yeah.
and did you walk into the mist?
No, I don't do the walking in.
That's what I always used to do. I used to do the walk-in.
Because I guess the theory of walking into it is that it evenly applies it.
Yeah.
But it's just too much trouble,
It's like, you smell really good right here. Not so much here or here, but right here.
You've got this weird band of good smell.
The rest is really musky or poo. I'm not sure which.
Yeah, like a highway down a musky poo road.
What's chat room? You enjoying this conversation? Have you learned any new techniques about putting on your body spray? Maybe
Well-
you should share your techniques with Azeroth Roundtable
I
when you're.
don't use body spray. I use
don't either.
deodorant, and that's about it.
Anti-perspirant.
I got told. Well, no, we don't need to necessarily go there.
Well, but I mean,
No,
like,
go ahead. You opened the door just now.
Well, no, I got told that I don't know if this is true. This is gonna sound like bragging. I don't want to say it.
no,
but-
brag away. Come on.
But
humble brag it, John.
I got told I didn't need it in
You-
different terms. But basically, I was told that I didn't
stink
need
good?
I didn't need it. Yeah, and also in
was
different
this-
terms.
You stink
but-
good.
But like, because there's that scent. Like anyone who's ever been in a relationship, you know that like your partner can smell like stinky or musky, but you like the way they smell, and that's important because
Yeah.
you can't always be around an actual life partner where they constantly wear Axe or whatever sprays. Like
Sure.
you're going to smell them in there, and so if you like their stink, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
That's
Tends
normal.
to be.
yeah.
But when you're with colleagues or strangers and stuff, like that good smelling stink, you just don't want to smell it, even though someone out there might or does appreciate the
Yeah.
musky smell. So that's the body spray philosophy.
All right.
I feel
that
like a greasy salesperson. Buy my body spray, it'll get you laid.
All I do is I shower and then put on anti-perspirant.
Guys,
you're gonna
have to put on this body spray.
Anyways, that is our whole topic this week was on cosmetics, and it was 4 middle-aged white guys talking about makeup. It was amazing, but also very
let me ask you
poorly
this.
informed.
Your hair always looks so luxurious and full, Beau. How do you keep it looking so nice and healthy?
Well, I shampoo it, and I use conditioner, and I comb, and it's pretty simple.
Okay.
I think I'm actually just sort of blessed with okay hair, actually. 'Cause sometimes, not like I have a coworker who complains her hair's too thin. My hair's too thin. Your hair's so thick. I love it. My hair's too.
So back in high school, I actually had long hair, and it was like down to my shoulders, and when it gets long, it gets really curly for me.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing. Like girls would always come up and be like, "Your hair is so great. What do you do? What do you do?" And I'm just like, I wash it every day and then put it in a ponytail.
Yeah, it's just I mean, people are like that. I find my hair too straight. I wish I had more bounce and waviness to it, but then I have a friend who had that and he hated it. So it's just different. You always you're just always kind of blasé about the thing you have. Everyone else thinks the thing you have is better than what they have.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You would grow
Very
a
true.
sweet set of hair. I can tell it's thick from here.
Oh, well, thank you.
Head hair.
I mean, okay, so when I was growing it, I was a huge fan of Braveheart, and I'm like, I'm gonna grow long hair. So yeah.
That is a good reason.
And then also at school, I was in theater, and as I said, the girls constantly
Nice.
asked me about my hair, so they really enjoyed braiding it as well. So I'm like, girls are surrounding me and braiding my hair. I'm cool with that. So
Yeah,
it was okay.
It's great.
No, not at all. Just a bunch of friends.
I can't
But
throw stones
other
at
people
your
jealous.
Still,
reason for
it's nice
growing
to
your
be
hair
pampered.
out,
Like
though.
if
Oh, yeah.
if you and it's not ever it's just if you don't have hair, no one will play with your hair.
Yeah.
So you might not know the joys of having anyone. I'm not talking like sexual or anything. Just somebody with,
Yeah.
stuff to your hair.
I don't know,
it's
guys.
fun.
It used to drive me crazy. Because
Oh, really?
I used to. So hey, surprise! I didn't always have a shaved head. For a while I had long hair. For a while I had, hair that was just basically spiked up on top. And people, because my hair has always been really fine and really soft, people loved to rub my head. And just leaving it there. And so for all through elementary school into middle school, it was constant. People would just come by and they just rub my head. And it's like, why are you doing that? That's lucky. You got good hair. It's lucky. I'm convinced the reason I have to shave my head is because people basically just rubbed it all away. It's all gone.
Well,
People used
Johnny,
up the mojo.
You do know what one of your nicknames was up in Flagstaff, right?
No.
It was a baby ducky fluffy head.
What? Really?
Yeah, baby ducky fluffy head.
Why?
Because it was soft and fine hair, like you said.
Because it was soft. It was really soft.
I'm really sorry that at one point I might have been one of those people who did rub your
Ben,
head, but
everybody
it was really
did.
soft. Oh my god.
Everybody did.
You had, and this is going to sound weird, but you had the softest hair. Like, if they could, they would harvest your hair and make like stuffed animals out of it or something. It was so soft.
Okay, well, okay, that would have been in like going into high school even. So
Yeah.
I would
Even then.
I would say that yeah, basically that's a long time. That's a lot of years of having everybody want to just rub your head constantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what people don't do enough anymore? Not to change it too much,
Rub
but
your
remember. Well, they don't do that enough right now, I'll tell you. But you know,
Okay.
I can fix that anytime. The world's just waiting on me. It's
As soon
not
as
really.
I see
No
you
one wants
in
to hear my
person,
complaints.
as soon as I see you in person, I will rub your head.
Thank you.
just-
I'll make sure to put Axe bodies spray on.
This is not getting awkward or weird at all.
I need to make sure that we're traveling down the Axe Highway and not the Muskershoot Highway.
Oh man, you guys need to do a second show that's just pushing the envelope, inappropriate things. But you know what people used to do. You used to draw on each other on your back, and you'd have to guess what it is. I haven't done that in forever.
I never
All this talk
did
about
that.
head rubbing. What's that?
I never did
really
that.
did that.
Oh, it just brought all this head rubbing talk brought back memories of like you'd take turns drawing on each other's back and what am I drawing? I'm like I don't know. What am I spelling? Right? You just like
Like for me,
maybe,
it was always
maybe it's
that
just
was
my weird
always
school. I don't know.
that was always the punishment for falling asleep too soon at a sleepover.
No,
Like-
they didn't actually write on your back. It was like they
No, with
they
your
traced
finger.
their
With your finger.
Oh,
Like they trace on your back, and so you'd be like, I wonder what it was. Like it's just no one's done that in like I
wait,
think
hold on.
20 years or something.
John, were you
more.
seriously sitting here thinking, Beau wants someone to Sharpie on his back? for
yeah,
something?"
that's what I thought it was a game. I thought you all sat around and drew pictures on each other's
Yeah.
backs, like that
Yeah,
game
that's how
where you
Canadians
stick
give
the
each other tattoos. That's,
like like that game where you stick a thing on your head and it's got like a name, and it's like, oh, what's
Yeah.
on my head, and everybody's got to guess.
Oh,
It's like,
right,
oh,
right.
what's on my back. I don't know. Yeah, I did. People did do that. I take it back. I have.
Yeah, you
I have
remember
had
that.
people
That-
do the
yeah.
drawing on your back thing.
Like, just I feel like as a thing that may never happen to me again before I die.
Well,
I'll have
you
to
know what?
remember it and ask someone to do it.
I'll rub my hand through your hair. John will draw on your back.
I'm looking forward. Are you guys
John's-
going to Nerdtacular? I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm planning on it, and he's probably going to hitch a ride with me. So,
I like that
Sweet.
Ben's committing me to these things. But yeah, sure. All
well,
right.
John, you're an artist. I'm not. I do like a stick figure, and Beau be like, "What is that?"
You guys are driving to Nerdtacular, and you're like, "Oh, John, we have to pull over at this gas station over here because I promised the guy we'd touch his hair.
I'd rub
and
his head, and you can draw on his back.
John's like, what?
That's okay. He's cool with it.
What are you boys doing on the side of the road? I'm going to rub a guy's head. He's going to draw on their back. Not in my state, you're not.
Well,
then you have to
it's
be
for
the
free.
Part of a
We're not-
sting.
We're not taking money for it.
Yeah,
That John knows
it's
of.
consensual.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's funny. It's funny
Well,
stuff.
I think that's it right there. I don't know if we
That's
can go any further with that.
Nightcap, everyone. You guys, are you not amused? Chat room.
Well, now it's going to just lead to a whole new generation of people calling me Baby Ducky Fluffy Head. Or
Yeah.
whatever it is. Is that the right order?
Baby ducky fluffy head.
Okay, yeah. Nobody's going to
It's-
understand that.
It's a baby duck with who's
with
fluffy.
a fluffy head. Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha.
Let's not tell Scott though, because he might like that too much.
Oh, he'll do that too much.
Scott will like
Yeah.
that. So-
Unless he's watching right now, in which case you're.
Oh, he doesn't watch.
Yeah, you never
Well,
know. You never know who's watching
could
you on
show
Twitch.
up. Yeah.
Taylor Swift might be hanging out at her house, just bored, opens up her Twitch app to find a stream and come by here. You wouldn't know.
Then next song she sings, all of a sudden she's like, baby, ducky, fluffy head. I can show you incredible things.
Between them, the next song she's gonna sing is "The Axe Highway."
The Axe Highway. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, guys, I think that it is time for me to go. I've got a bunch of stuff to do.
Don't lie.
Right.
What do you got to do on a Friday night?
I got to edit the Battle Pets promo that was supposed to be done 2 nights ago, but unfortunately, I didn't.
Sounds like you should have spent less time on the Axe Highway and more time editing promos. But all right, we'll call it there. Hey, everybody
thanks,
in
everyone.
the chat room. Hi, John here, and we're ending the show. So thanks for stopping by. And
Thanks for stopping. Bye.
Bye. Joe,
Bye.
what do you know? Jeez. Baby ducky fluffy head. I don't know.